foreign alcohol like Irish whiskey and Spanish wine, which we have here on set, are in vogue. And the strong dollar, trading at a 14-year high, can take some of the credit. Foreign booze is now significantly cheaper for U.S. wholesale buyers, but this has some homegrown manufacturers feeling shaken, not stirred. Joining us to discuss is WSJ reporter Chelsey, Dulaney, and Steve Melchiski, a wine importer with USA Wine West. Welcome to both of you. Chelsey, let me start with you. Foreign alcohol brands are popular right now, but how much of that has to do with the strong dollar, and how much of that is a trend that we've been seeing for a couple of years?
Right. So there are a couple of factors. Like you said, it's been a trend. Like a lot of people are buying premium liquors. There's been a trend towards more premium, so that's sort of benefited imports and better brands from Europe and places like that. But I think the dollar has had an impact because the dollar has been, rising steadily for almost 3 years now, and so it has made it a lot cheaper for importers in the U.S.
Importers like Steve. Steve, so tell us, you've been loading up on Spanish wine because of the cost savings?
Yes, in fact, we have. It's the cost savings right now in Europe for comparable quality in the U.S. is significant. But I think you also have to remember that the U.S. is a net import country. The American producers, U.S. producers, can't produce enough wine to satisfy the thirst of American consumers.
We do like our wine. You're absolutely right. But Steve, hold on for a second, because Chelsey, you write in your story that distributors aren't always passing on these savings to the consumer, and why is that?
Well, I think it's a couple things. If you're a retailer and you drop your price for a currency swing, it could very quickly turn around on you. So I think people are hesitant to adjust prices for temporary currency.
Right, because then your consumer doesn't want to come back once you have to raise the price again, right? So Steve, are you going through this issue? Are you passing on the savings to your customers, or are you holding it for a rainy day because then if you raise the price later, people won't buy it?
I think there's a balance between those things. I will say that I believe that consumers have an opportunity to buy better wines at comparable prices than they could in the past, and that is one of the bigger trends.
Right, so you don't pass on the full savings to the consumer?
No, currency is a very complicated issue. If you know when you have to buy things, you can buy forward contracts, but currency can swing very radically, very quickly. And a small swing in a currency can wipe out your entire profit because we're in a very low profit business.
So you have to be very conservative about these changes of price. So Steve, tell us about the wines where you're seeing the biggest impact. You're seeing it both on the high-end wines and wines that are priced around $14. Is that right?
Yes, I would say there's two impacts on the consumer. For example, we have a chain program this year with a national grocery chain that's $10.99 for the consumer. In past years, it would have been from a less well-known region of France. This year, we can do it from Bordeaux because the exchange rate allows us to hit that price point and deliver a better wine to the consumer at the same price that they would have paid for a different.
Hey, that's actually a really clever way of getting around the pricing issue, just to offer better wine at the same price.
I think that's what we do. I think that the exchange rate is giving the opportunity to over-deliver at a price point, a quality wine to a consumer.
That sounds good to me. Now, but Chelsey, you're seeing this happening not just with alcohol, not just with wine, with spirits, but also with cheeses and chocolates and other imports?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of across the board. Like any product that's priced in another currency is going to get cheaper for U.S. buyers. So cheese has been an area, coffee. It's been pretty broad where the strong dollar is boosting imports.
Right. So, Steve, in your industry, though, I'm just curious, are you at all worried about any extra tax or levy that might come? I know you say that American producers, wine producers, cannot fulfill the demand, so therefore you need foreign wines. But are you worried that at some point these foreign imports may be taxed too heavily?
Absolutely. I think it's an ongoing concern, which may also be holding back somewhat in our industry the ability of importers to pass savings along to consumers. We don't know what's going to happen, and that's one of the mysteries and difficulties of our industry.
Absolutely. Chelsey and Steve, thanks to both of you for being with us today.